Hello, hello. Welcome to Ascension Messages podcast, where we sit in conversation with benevolent beings who come with guidance for our collective evolution. My name is Samara, and this is episode 15, I believe. I could be wrong. These messages are timeless, so whenever you come across this episode, there can be something that will spark inspiration, inner knowing, expansion inside of you. Today we are sitting with the conscious beings of Antares, which I have been being called to lately. Antares sits at the heart of this Scorpius constellation and carries when I was meditating on it, carries a masculine energy. A masculine energy that rivals that of Mars is the words that they gave me. So there is a divine masculine component, important in the balance. This is the words they're giving me right now. Important in the balance in our search for the frequency of divine masculine energy and the redefinition of masculine energy within our society. The modulation of the expression of masculine energy within our society. We do talk a lot about feminine energy and divine feminine energy, and so messages are coming in quite quickly right now. We must also work in tandem, in balance with this redefinition, expanding our understanding of what masculine energy is and how it is expressed through both I shouldn't say both, through any gender identification that we may have. Yes. So, Antares. I'm not in my normal space, so I took a little bit of extra effort to ground the energy. But I'm there, so there's a little bit more. There's more visitors. There's more observers. So just keeping, say, aligned and focused on the conversation with the beings I've invited. It just has a different flavor to it, if you will. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I will give you just a quick overview of how this runs. So you will hear me in any one of 3 states or any combination of states throughout this next 25 to 30 minutes. There's my personality self, which is here speaking to you right now. There's my higher self, which I slip into very easily nowadays. And then there is the possibility of full channel, where I step aside completely and our honored guests from Antares will speak through me directly to you. So I have an oracle deck in front of me and I have a tarot deck in front of me. I use that just to ground the energy of the reading and to keep me to a timeline. So the first card we have that came out is Solitude. I'm using Denise Lynn's Sacred Destiny Oracle. That's the first deck. Solitude, abundance, and freedom. At the bottom of the deck, we have leadership. Okay. So I will invite in those from Antares to communicate the message that they have for us today. Okay, they want me to begin. So many of us are stepping into a leadership role or a form of leadership, a style of leadership. Let me rewind. Many of us are stepping into leadership roles, period. The style of leadership that we are being called to utilize and to develop within ourselves is a style that perhaps has not been utilized before, or maybe in bits and pieces, but there's still very much a patriarchal, capitalist, um, global north mentality to leadership. And and they say, when you're even, let's say, studying leadership from people who are successful, have been successful in the past, or have been successful up to now, there are bits and pieces that you can take, but there are also bits and pieces that you see are very much informed by um, Eurocentric, patriarchal energy. Um, and they're calling me to be very blunt. I'm usually more of a diplomatic type. However, I feel that this is also part of the message. There has to be a very clear honesty in leadership as well. And this will start with this solitude card, with leadership within your own life, with leadership in calling out what it is that you do not, what you don't vibe with, like an energy that you don't want to perpetuate. It's important that that conflict, we're using conflict in a neutral way, just where the ideas, where ideas are challenged, where norms are challenged. And that will come in. So in this solitude card, there is a person in a boat. The sun is setting and the moon is rising. So there's the light of both, which I feel is a call also between this masculine energy and feminine energy being in balance. In balance. Make sure I'm saying that very clearly. And that it requires it being in balance within yourself as well, which is a constant, or it's a consistent effort, let's say, consistent effort. The norms that we would like to confront, break down, excuse me, break down in society need to be broken down within the self first. And not first in imperfection before one starts leading and acting in the world, but where it's one is actively working on their internal world as they're affecting the external world or acting in the external world. And what we're being called to do here is to find okay, this is a complex feeling. To find a balance, to find the root of aggression, and control. The root of intentions behind aggression and control. They're giving me part of an answer as to the root, but they don't want me to communicate it. So that is an assignment. Can we interpret that as an assignment? Yes, they're saying it's an assignment for each person. So it's a more valuable lesson when one discovers it within themselves, as opposed to the answer being given to you. Within that excavation of the spirit and the excavation of the psychological construct, the mental and emotional constructs that drive that behavior, is the roots of the true abundance. We're coming to the abundance card. True abundance is cyclical, it is holistic, all encompassing, and true abundance does not cause lack for others or in other areas. True abundance is in alignment with a benevolent, all giving energy. It's not depletable. It does not deplete. You're either in alignment with it or not in alignment with it. So that wavers, but the availability of abundance is a constant stream. So returning to that energy of masculine, redefining and understanding masculine energy in your current Earth society. Is also understanding the flawed perception, the skewed perception of what abundance is and how abundance is truly achieved. Okay. I need a moment. I'm being shown and put in the energy of very heavily this energy of, right, have and have nots. And to have, someone has to have not. And this being at the basis of a lot of how people understand being wealthy. Someone has to be at the bottom of the food chain. This is an ideology, a understanding of wealth and abundance that needs to, it's on its way out because it's not true. That's the words they want me to use. It's on its way out because it's simply not true. And those who are still here listening to this broadcast at this time, podcast, are very likely in that realm of up and coming leaders who are being called to stand on business when it comes to that understanding. That understanding may feel, let's say, unproven. The lack of evidence, scientific evidence in the literature, and people who have gone to business school and learned entrepreneurship and leadership are going to quote a bunch of people who, well, built the system to be with built-in inequalities to begin with. They're going to quote why certain inequalities are a given and a necessity, and it will be bullshit. And it will be. So there is a call for you to stand on your own or to find like-minded people. Let me rewind a little bit and say that there will be, let them speak through, there will be a necessity for you to stand in your truth with your only allies in that moment being the divine, your spirit team, your divine counterparts, those of us in the galactic realms in higher dimensions that understand what you are learning, what your human collective is learning now. It will be an evolutionary process. Those of you who are seated to be leaders and ushers of the new age understand this innately without needing literature or scientific evidence as is recognized by your current human society. Know that, though, the collectives, your cosmic cousins, know these truths and are streaming that energy, that wisdom into your energetic field, opening your light body, opening your consciousness to continue to receive that support from us will make a significant difference in your resolve, in your clarity of purpose. The last oracle I have here is freedom. And in this card, there is many birds flying. The message I'm getting here. So I was called to this deck in particular called Sacred Destiny, which is not a deck I would have chosen for this at any time when I do the Ascension Messages podcast. I've never been called to it. Excuse me. So I truly feel that I was called to this particular deck because those of you who are drawn to sit through this podcast and feel it resonating with something in your spirit have a destiny of leading in some way. Some of you may birth leaders, future leaders. Some of you may influence future leaders. And some of you may be those future leaders or are being called to be a leader now. In any case, wherever you fall on that spectrum, you belong to a flock. That has come with a specific path and purpose. Yet within that flock, you have your individual direction. We encourage you to seek your flock and to be open-minded about what it is that really binds the common thread within your flock. You may be doing very different activities, living very different lifestyles, be from very different walks of life. You may feel called to very different activities, different industries, different spheres of existence, different expressions of your energy. Be curious, though, and allow your spirit to lead you to people who, at their core, have a vibration that speaks to you. You are ushering in a core energy, a core vibration. You are all alchemizing on the same frequency. Although your assignments look very different from one another. I'm having a hard time telling who's who. I am. I gotta hold on 1 second. Ooh. Yeah, they just kind of come in unannounced, which I'm not used to, but feels good to meet new people. Thank you for all of your messages. I feel it's a very urgent one. I've been feeling called by Antares for a couple weeks now. I'm finally getting down to it. I'm going to pull some tarot just to close off and see if there's any final. I think that's it. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. Oh, no. Okay. I have a feeling that we're going to be inviting back Antares again because there's a lot to say. So, I have a very unique tarot deck here. It's called the Osho Zen Tarot, and I don't use this one often either. So, I'm going to close off the messages here, and I'll just call out. I don't know the equivalent of these cards in the Rider-Waite or the traditional tarot, so I'll just call out what it says on these particular cards. We have a card called Consciousness. There's Healing, Guidance in the reverse, Transformation, and then we have Suppression, and underneath Suppression is Trust in the reverse and Clinging to the Past in the reverse. So I'll just start because the story is quite clear to me. Oh, the bottom of the deck is the Rebel. So, yes. I don't think I need to tell you that some of you are called and ignoring it or afraid of it. I think that is a common thread amongst many of our up and coming leaders. The reality here is there's a lot coming through the divine stream of consciousness. We're getting a lot of upgrades, downloads, intuitive messages, very vivid dreams that is calling us forward into our destiny, into our soul's purpose, path and purpose. Do know that we are also being healed in this process. They would like you to know that there's a lot of healing happening for you at the moment too. So solitude is very important for you, for us at this time, because we need the chance to let the past go and let the new in, and to allow the healing to be complete. You may find also out in the world that people are particularly poking at your wounds. This is a hidden blessing. Some of it is, I don't really care about who's trying to stop one's evolution or unfolding. It's inevitable. It may take a longer way around if you get caught up in the past and in your wounds. However, if you can harness, if you can accept that the stuff that is being poked at is because it's time to take the lesson and keep it moving, and let that serve you on your path, then the healing can occur much more quickly. Guidance in reverse. As I said, some of us are ignoring this guidance. The transformation, though, is inevitable. The transformation is inevitable. It is, you're being called to be courageous. Okay. They're slipping in now. Yes, you can go ahead. We encourage you to be courageous. Many of you have been suppressing this for too long. You fail to trust yourself, trust your intuition. You fail to trust that you are safe. And we fully understand why that is a challenge for you at the moment. Clinging to the past. Yes, of course, on earth you learn from experience. We are assisting you. Your allies are assisting you in boldly moving forward and trusting that you are supported. It is imperative for many of you who do not keep a discipline, a spiritual discipline defined by you, that you have one. You require a strong connection to your guides and to the divine stream of information. Without this, you will more often feel lost or feel weak and be vulnerable to doubt. Are there any recommendations of how they can tune in to this divine support? As we said, one has to define it for themselves. You will know which moments you feel strongest in and which energies you feel most strongly supported by. You will know which practices. You will know. Tap into how you feel. Also tap into how you feel with certain people, within certain groups, and in certain environments. You will know who weakens you and which circumstances weaken you. You will innately know. You will intuitively know what energies support you and which energies deplete you. This is why we say the first step is leadership within your own life. Ooh, okay. That was a ride. That was a wild ride for me. I don't know how it was for you, but we'll definitely speak with Antares again. I feel that they are communicating a very important lesson, very important information and guidance for us at this time regarding the modulation of, of masculine energy in our society. So, thank you for joining me. I do hope that this conversation has enriched you somehow. Thank you to all of the benevolent beings who have sat in on this reading and protected this space. And of course, thank you to our benevolent visitors from Antares. We will see you again next time at the next episode. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.